I'm Arathi Saravanan from FOL7 and my student ID is 243FU245W2.
Hello, my name is ANGELY.
Hi, my name is ASYARATUL BINTI ABDULLAH and my student ID is 243FU242DR.
Hello, good evening. My name is ALLYSA, and today I'll be discussing about the last question where I explain my reasoning behind the subject.
Hi, my name is ASYARATUL and this is my answer for question 1A. The princess's feeling towards the young man's fate can be interpreted as conflicted. Although she loves him deeply, her emotions are complicated by jealousy and possessiveness. She knows that he might marry another woman if he opens the right door. Yet, she also recognizes the potential of losing him forever to the tiger if he opens the wrong door. The evidence from the story includes her soul at a white heat beneath the combined fires of despair and jealousy, revealing the intensity of her emotions, as well as her complex internal struggle between her love for him and her hatred for the lady behind the other door. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I will be answering question 1B which asks, in your opinion, state 2 things that the man has learned by the end of the short story. I will provide evidence from the text to support my points. My first point is that trust can be both a strength and a weakness. The man learned that trust is a double-edged sword. By trusting the princess's signal, he demonstrated his unwavering faith in her. However, this trust also left his faith entirely in her hands, whether she acted out of love or jealousy. The story highlights his belief that Princess would guide him to the right door, as he immediately followed her gesture without hesitation. This teaches us the lesson that blind trust can lead to unpredictable outcomes. The evidence for this point is that in the text it states, her right arm lay on the cushioned parapet before her. She raised her hand and made a slight, quick movement toward the right. No one but her lover saw her. His immediate decision to follow her signal shows his trust, but the outcome remains uncertain whether it leads to the lady or the tiger. The next point that I obtained from this short story is that life is governed by uncertainty and choices. The man learned that life is full of uncertainties and choices often come with high stakes. Standing in the arena, he faced a decision influenced by the princess, but ultimately he had to act. The duality of the doors symbolizes the unpredictability of life, success or failure, love or death, all determined by a single choice. The evidence for this point is the text describes the scene vividly. He turned and with a firm and rapid step, he walked across the empty space. Without the slightest hesitation, he went to the door on the right and opened it. This shows his acceptance of the risks and his courage in facing the unknown despite not being certain of the outcome. In conclusion, the man learns the importance and risk of trust as well as the inevitability of uncertainty in life. These lessons highlight human vulnerability when faced with critical decisions, making his story timeless and relatable. Thank you for listening, and I hope this analysis provides a clearer understanding of the man's journey and what he learned by the end of the story. Thank you.
My name is ANGELY from FOL7. My personal prediction as to what happens next after the young man opens the door to the right is that the young man gets mauled by the hungry tiger. The evidence for my claim is how descriptive the story gets in explaining the princess's hatred for the maiden behind the door, and her seemingly burning sense of jealousy takes up 2 whole paragraphs in the story, one written from the third-person perspective of the princess herself, and the other from the author describing what the process of deliberation could be. She describes the maiden as the loveliest and fairest of the court damsels, as well as the instances where she found her lover and said maiden chatting, which set off her feelings of hatred and jealousy against the maiden. This could mean she'd already had bad perception of the lady before her love affair was even discovered by the king. While in contrast, the fate of the young man, if he were to open the door to the tiger instead, was given less focus in the story and was elaborated in a few short sentences only. I think the length of the passages signifies the overall thought process and deliberation of the princess, meaning the humiliation and envy she'd feel if she'd watched the impromptu wedding happen in that arena weighed heavier on her mind than what she'd feel if she watched him getting brutally mauled by the tiger.
Today I'll be discussing the last question, where I explain my reasoning behind our answers. The reasoning behind my group's prediction that the young man opens the door to find the tiger is deeply rooted in the complex and intense emotion of the princess. Throughout the story, the author Frank Staunton paints a vivid picture of the princess' semi-barbaric nature, which mirrors that of her father, the king. This significant characteristic is crucial in understanding her potential decision. During the story, we can find that the princess's feelings of love for the young man is true, but however, clashes with her fierce jealousy as well. As we read further into detail, the story begins to describe the princess as having a soul as fervent and imperious as her father's. This not only suggests that her emotions are extremely strong, but also possess a certain ruthlessness. The princess' inner conflicts is understandable. On the one hand, she can't imagine the man's tragic fate if he were to open the door to the tiger. She is clearly deeply in love with him and wishes for him to be happy. On the other hand, when the princess discovers the lady behind one of the doors is someone who she despises, her jealousy becomes a significant factor in her decision-making. This jealousy could be so intense that she might point her lover to the door of the tiger rather than his potential bride, ensuring that if she cannot have him, then no one else can either.